Have you ever been talking to someone and they keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and you can't get them to stop talking? In this video, I want to talk about some really easy ways you can get someone to stop talking. Okay, so these are some tips that I have used in my own life. I'm not proud of them, but they do help to get people to wrap up their thoughts. There's different levels to getting someone to stop talking. They start with the least aggressive and go to the most aggressive. So we're going to start with the least aggressive one. Level 1 is what I call the fish. So let's say that you're talking to someone and you're listening. You're listening. And they just keep going and going and going. We know as humans that when someone opens their mouth to say something, they should stop talking. So one thing you can try is, just like a fish, when you open your mouth to take in food as a fish, it's the same thing as if saying to someone, what, but. So you can slightly open your mouth and it will often get someone to wrap up their thought because they can see you have something to say. Level 2, this is called the bookmark. So the bookmark is if you're saying to someone, oh, I want to say something about that. Let's bookmark it. Let's dog-ear it. So you can very slightly do this with a soft hand. So the bookmark looks like this. Especially when you pair it with the fish, someone knows, they had something to say, and they will often wrap up their comment. Let's say that they're still talking. You tried the fish, you tried the bookmark, and they are still going. Here's level 3. So this is called the pupil. The pupil is when you literally raise your hand as if you have something to say in a classroom. We know this, that in classes when someone raises their hand up, they want to say something. It also has a very subtle nonverbal gesture of showing someone to stop. So if you want someone to stop coming at you and you hold up your hand, oftentimes they know it means stop. The very last 2 things you can do is level 4 and level 5. Level 4 is when you reach out and touch the side of their arm. So let's say that you're going to a meeting or your parking's about to expire and you really gotta go. Most people, when you reach out and touch their arm for closure, as if to say, it was great meeting you, now I gotta go, is that slight touch. So you raise your hand up and they keep talking, you reach out and touch their arm and say, it was so good to meet you. Usually that touch gets them out of their story and out of their narrative. Level 5, the teacher. Ooh, this one's super aggressive, but it can work in a big group of people. So let's say you're talking to a lot of people and everyone's talking at once. You don't want to be too crazy by yelling. You can try the teacher, which is, when we see a teacher do this, it usually means wait a moment or shh, and we will usually be quiet. So if you want to get a group quiet, you can try the, again, that's levels 1 through 5. Start with 1, work your way up. And a way that you can get someone to stop interrupting you, very quick tip at the end here, is if you have 3 things to say, be sure to tell them you have 3 things to say. This is called preventative flagging. So if you have an interrupter who likes to talk over you, you can say, oh, there's 3 different things I wanted to tell you. That way they know that they can't interrupt you until you get all 3 things out. So these are some really easy tricks and tips for you. I hope you don't have any really horrible interrupters or people who won't stop talking. If you want more tips and tricks on human behavior and conversations, be sure to check out my book, Captivate, because I would love to teach you all of my favorite human behavior hacks. Thanks so much. So it's even better if you can go like if you make that fish noise, it like cues people that like, oh, she really wants to say something. So if you're not humiliated by that, you can also try the, you hear that? You hear that in there?